Welcome to another edition of XFeed. You can see on the screen here, it's not me. I'm here, but wanted to focus on the content today. We're going to be sharing a lot of different videos and insightful things, perspectives as per usual. If this is your first time tuning in, hope you stick around for just a little bit. Now, past 7 days, crypto pretty much on a complete tear. Bitcoin up almost 11%, Ethereum up 15%. We're almost touching 4K, which feels like that was around the price of ETH when I first got into the space. BNB here up 20%. Solana, some of the top dogs here are starting to move along with alts, memes, and everything else, except the extreme greed all the way up to 89. Will we see a flush out? What is the thoughts on that? Well, we kind of saw it today. We had Bitcoin go up to almost $70,000, a huge dump, and then now it's going back up. We'll see if this is the gig ascender people are anticipating. Mick, I've decided to sell my punks. Someday I'll be back, hopefully with alien, zombie, or ape. Punks are simply the best. For now, wanting dry powder as we gear up for the launch of Ripe DAO. Now, so this person is selling a whole slew of CryptoPunks with the headband. It's kind of a cool collection, and it's got the Tiffany Co. pendants with it. Now, the only thing that I find a little bit weird from this is, like, it sold instantly. Like, it was quick. Crazy to see these selling around the floor when they come with a pennant the owner paid like 30 ETH extra for. That was crazy at the time. Tiffany came out and was like, hey, we're having a very limited amount of CryptoPunk pendants. If you're wanting to pay an ungodly amount of money, you can, but they're going to be limited and cool. But either way, quick movers on that front. Liquidity is flying. A Blur farmer just nuked 50 pudgies for a 110 ETH loss after holding through this last couple weeks of down only. People are giving up on NFTs in droves. Timeline was going crazy, saying Doodles come back and how they were going back to 5+ ETH. Retraced to 1.7 ETH and none of them buying. Timeline said the same thing about missing penguins at 20 and none are buying at 12. Moral of the story, never ever listen to people with a bag during a pump. Big time agree on this. I think we've seen countless times where everybody's saying, oh, this is undervalued. This is the next best thing. This is why I always say do your own research, find out what you like. Everybody's going to be trying to, everybody turns into a salesman within this space. And so I really think it's something that if you're newer, you really got to decide for yourself, and everybody's got like a bias. So when I talk about things, I have a bias. Recognize that, right? Like there's people that I don't love the opinions on certain things, but I think they have something to add, right? So it's always about, turning that thinking cap on. Everyone is jumping on the portal train, but I'm still wicked skeptical. Something isn't adding up. Well, what the hell is Jitsi talking about? Well, Portal Coin saying we're excited to announce the Portal Dota 2 World Invitational, a global esports tournament with world-class pro teams streamed to millions of fans. We're also launching exclusive Dota 2 collectibles via Portal. Open your loot boxes to get in-game items and skins March 2024. And so at first we're like, okay, what is this? There's no comms or anything from the side of Dota. Why is Portal announcing this first before the official market goers, or sorry, the games maker? And when you realize, you're like, okay, so this is going to be something that potentially sends shockwaves, but it sounds like it's just this partnership for now. But we're also launching exclusive collectibles via Portal, so there's going to be extra NFTs with it potentially. And from my understanding with Dota, it works where you can like sell some of the assets on Steam itself. Shout out JVB was saying that yesterday. Hadn't heard of that. But that's crazy if we actually have esports getting sponsored by crypto again, because one of the shows that I listened to, they kind of went through a discussion, I should say, for the way that esports have gone, and saying, at one point we had all these VCs that were like, oh, we want to own like the Los Angeles Clippers, but we have to do it in esports because it's cheaper, but this is going to be super successful. And, it's kind of people that were like flaunting that they have cash and helping support the industry. And then it turned into crypto being like, hey, we need everybody to get into this run of crypto. FTX sponsoring TSM as an example. And apparently there was a huge fallout regarding that. And they didn't end up paying, et cetera, et cetera. And then there was kind of this past year where there wasn't really that many sponsors for esports. And they're like, this industry may be dying. But if crypto is coming back willing to inject capital. Well, at the same time, we have all the conversations around Saudi Arabia and them owning a whole bunch of like the Overwatch League and some of these major esports tournaments and trying to host the finals of things. Like it'll be really interesting to see how that flushes out. Leor here giving some commentary on ApeCoin. I love ApeCoin. The ecosystem around it is made up of the best people in Web3. However, we have a lot of issues with the current system. We need to change up. Ape has so much potential, and we haven't been able to elicit much from it. I'll be working on change to this. Join me. A lot of people questioning. There's all these big players within the market that's kind of deciding what gets passed. Is it actual companies? Is it people just helping their friends because these big entities are being a part of it? It doesn't feel, there's certain things that have been really good that the Ape coin has passed, but also some things that seem kind of weird that it hasn't. But speaking of Yuga, Wag Sand, 10K TF, a cautionary tale. Showing some art here. We know that these, or at least this character here, looks like one of the PFPs that are supposed to come from the G-Tag Grail NFTs. I'm not sure if this is a representation of Atom Bomb Squad or just simply a bomb, but that's what IP can do for you. You just think it is, even if it is not. Breaking news, the digital art move just purchased longtime Bored Ape member OX Waves gold fur primate for 500 ETH or 1.92 million. I thought we saw several gold apes going for less than $1 million. So this seems like a unbelievably drastic overpay. And this is a part of what we talked about yesterday, where there was that AIP that got so much attention and capital they were asking for. And then everybody was like, okay, where's the capital? When are we going to be buying these apes? Now that money's getting out there and we're seeing exactly what they're buying. And so I guess this is what the digital art movement is for it. But it's already got 1,200 followers. But damn, $2 million for this. That's crazy. So is a rare worth investing too? I might try to get steals in the cards. Sorry, for what do you mean in terms of like the cards? Apologies. And Yoth, welcome to the stream. Appreciate having you. So a lot of people are asking questions about this, right? For MLB, are you talking about like the Candy digital packs? I'm not sure. I feel like Candy, for whatever reason, hasn't gotten like the attention maybe it deserves. I don't know if that's like the right term, but for whatever reason, MLB and the digital card landscape hasn't really picked up too much. New Third Kingdom post. Holy sugar. Are you serious? Okay, let me look in 2 seconds. Okay, so Machi dropped 2 million out of the 25 million on one gold ape. Instead of taking 30 apes out of the hands of farmers, okay, fair. But the details of that specifically, because we knew that it wasn't just Yuga projects, 70% of the 25 mil was targeted at Yuga projects. So just over 11% of the Yuga bag on one ape. Wow. So they actually used 11% of their entire Yuga allocation just on that single ape. That's crazy. You can earn rewards by using them in money and stuff? Really? Interesting. I've not heard of that, to be honest. Are you baiting me here, Bildo? Oh, no, you're not. Root and prosperity for... Hold on. Here we go. Let's see what this is about. And Bildo, thank you for the heads up. All right, what a teaser. What the hell does that mean? I'm curious. Bildo, if you see any goods on the timeline, let me know. But things are starting to cook. Ghost Machine at 20K free airdrop collection on Say, founded by Walk NFT and Ether Zach, with art by Psych NFT, incubated by DFZ Labs. We'll have 10K available for all dead fellas, 10K holders to claim. Again, it's kind of interesting that we're seeing certain NFT collections going the road of trying to bring attention or revenue to themselves by helping other collections launch their NFTs and then giving something back to their holders. We highlighted quite significantly over the past few days where Magic Eden is getting these mints, OpenSea is getting these mints, and on top of that, where else are you going to go if it's not one of these marketplaces? Well, what about the teams that have projects and collections that are already out there? So I feel like we haven't seen this too much within the space recently. I thought we'd see it a lot more, but that coming in from Deadfellas. Here's something that nobody tells you. All right, nobody tells you. And you better get familiar with it. Hey, bull markets are way more uncomfortable than bears. People capitulating, people saying opportunity cost. We got the whole new slew of buzzwords, but things get interesting, and that's really all that matters. Bildo, if you can say like another thing in the chat, I'm going to try to move this chat box. If you guys can see this on the screen, I'm trying to line this up. I didn't realize I didn't have that the right way. Aaron Root and Phoebe all tweeted with different captions. Ooh, okay. Remind me. We'll look at that once we're done the stuff. One of the greatest NFTs, in my opinion. I agree, right? But the only thing that I didn't realize is this is supposed to be like the robot fur. But then, like, if it's a robot and it's metal, why does it have fur? What is going on here? What is going on? To anyone making Web3 games, just wanted to bring this up because I think it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe not important, but I thought that would be relevant. Would love for your game to have, number one, no copyright. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Bill. No copyright music, hiding wallet balances and emails once logged in. I think these things are like pretty decent, but you get dinged for monetization if you get caught using copyright music, which, I mean, for my videos, it's like 60 cents a video right now, if that. But, you know, assuming that it goes better, then it sucks to get demonetized that way. And then just hiding wallet balances and emails, it's like, it's just, I don't know, you know, the personal thing. It's a little bit easier that way, if you know what I'm saying. And, yo, Bill, though, that space yesterday, oh man, that was crazy. What the hell happened though? Because I was listening and Mr. Bildo was going on a huge breakdown. And then like he sounded like he was jogging at the same time. So I don't know if he was wearing those Apple headphones. So Bildo, if you're wearing those Apple headphones, let me know, brother. That's an ad right there for them. Most things I read are formed with extreme bias. We've highlighted this before, okay? But this is still something that's literally all over my timeline every single day. We have people that are flaming a project. At the same time, people are bullish on that project. And it's just an absolute clash in the comment section. People are pissed. So again, form your own opinion. Things get spicy. Now, I want to highlight this because I don't know if you guys watch some of these extra videos, but for Bitcoin ordinals, this is how you go and make a wallet if you're interested in doing this quick 2-minute video. You know, my goal is to bring you value, and that's what we're going to try to do, highlighting how to get a Bitcoin ordinals wallet. It's way easier than you think, so don't fret. And yes, we are playing some old school RuneScape while we do it. Okay, so just type in Magic Eden Wallet. That's it. Hit enter. Make sure that this is the official site. Sometimes you might see a sponsored website, and a lot of those times those are phishing links. So just as a security note, you're going to download for Chrome. You enter a unique password, and welcome to the Magic Eden wallet. You get to claim a collectible. So when it goes through, it says you'll need a little Solana first, and then you can purchase it with a debit or credit card. Or you can just click receive and end up getting Solana, except we're obviously talking about Bitcoin ordinals here, so you don't actually have to add any Solana, I don't believe. You'll be able to see within the swap here is it can actually do ETH to Bitcoin. So it's a simple way with no extra hassle and something that you might feel familiar with within Magic Eden. And that's it. Once you add a little bit of soul, I guess you can claim this free collectible. This is what I'm trying to say. It literally, it's just downloading a wallet and then swapping within there. If you have any idea of how to do anything within crypto, Bitcoin ordinals are super easy. Again, I haven't bought any yet, but I'm planning on kind of dabbling just a wee little bit here soon. So more collections doing some, I guess, collectors doing some interesting things here. David Choi saying, I'll be personally injecting $1.3 million and MetaStreet XYZ will be providing $700,000 into Blur loans for Pudgy Penguins over the next hours. $2 million should be enough to stop the debt spiral for birds. So we have people stepping in now on mass liquidations. And Leo is saying, respect for David for doing this. I'm glad to see Pudgy's getting bailed out. If someone had done this for apes, the whole timeline would be ablaze with how weak of a move it is. Let them burn, they'd say. Perspectives. I don't know. I feel like everybody's pretty judgmental about everything. But more context, didn't even start using MetaStreet liquidity yet, but all the auctions at and under 10 ETH should be wiped out now, added to surplus until it needs to be refilled. I believe in you. Luca Pudgy's will stay 2-digit ETH PFP until it hits 3. Found some extra ETH actually. That seems like, okay, so for argument's sake, I've tried to preach that it's all about the yield for these assets of the reason why most of them go up, right? Sure, you'll have your art collection or whatever, or something that goes super viral like the Node Monkeys. But generally speaking, right now, I think most people, if you're going to get a Pudgy, you're going to get it. Why would you get one now? Well, if they have a token or something extra big of value that's coming for it. So either this person knows something of what's going on, or they just have that much faith that the collection and demand for NFTs, especially Pudgies, is going to happen. Trading on Ethereum is like buying a bottle of water at the airport. This is a fantastic line, and I think that I might steal that because it's expensive and there's better options. Well, actually, the only other option is just to become dehydrated. Long the revolution, found some extra ETH. Must be nice. True. These whales are just sitting there gobbling everything up. Okay, so Legends of the Mara is out. And if you haven't seen it, it's basically like, I don't know, passive staking in a way. But every 4 hours, you have to like click and activate the bonus that you get for free. And so this person has 19 deeds, and they have to go through all of them every couple of hours and hit it. And this is what it looks like for them. I mean, this is the state of Web3 games right now. I don't know why there's not better options in terms of like just the ease of use for anybody that holds a lot of assets. I don't know why these people make things hard. Sorry, I shouldn't say hard, right? Like this is a 40-second clip of them ripping through. It's not hard, but I just feel like, man, if the implementation of having these, I guess like whales being able to do things a little bit smoother, you know, maybe there wouldn't be too much fun on the timeline. Yeah, it's Snazzy. What's going on? Snazzy, when was the last time you dealt with a bank in crypto? Because we got a story here. Now, this isn't necessarily about crypto per se, but I think that it's one of the biggest talking points that we're going to see for everybody over the next little bit, especially in the US with it being an election year. I withdrew less than $10,000 from the Commonwealth Bank today. I was asked what I need it for. I said to the teller, aren't you supposed to ask this only if I withdraw $10,000 plus? She said, oh no, now it's anything over $1,000. And even if you want to deposit $1,000, we ask you where you got the money from. So I said to her, as she was being polite this time, that I withdrew the money to pay cash for all my purchases as the banks are closing down and closing ATMs. I also said that I no longer trust the bank with my money and that I think it's intrusive that the government wants to know this information. She said that is to prevent money laundering, to which I replied that the government is the biggest money launderer there is. She just laughed and gave me my money. If you've ever dealt with the bank tellers and things, I mean, it's weird to have the questions asked, and it's supposed to be your money. And people don't realize that these things happen unless they actually go out and have these interactions. So I realize this is a true story, and I'm curious if you guys watch and have had any instances with your bank for anything, whether it be crypto or not. Okay, Gutter Cat Gang, we've talked a lot about collections and the potential for them getting acquired over the last little bit. The Gutter Shop, welcome to the Gutter Shop, the official home for all the physical GCG apparel and collectibles. Gutter Cat holders receive a 15% discount. There we go. We have Gutter Creators. The Gutter Cat Gang is on a mission to bring in creators to deliver world-class content and products with the Gutter IP. So the question is, would you want whatever your main collection is right now? Let's say that you're somebody who holds Doodles, right? Would you want Doodles to go out and acquire Gutter Cats right now? If you're into Yuga Labs, would you want Yuga Labs to go out and acquire Gutter Cats right now? Go down the list, whatever you're thinking in your head. Would you want them to acquire it if it seems like they're trying to highlight people that are in the community? I feel like they sponsored a sports team. They've had some Las Vegas events, and I just haven't seen a whole lot from them. So we'll see if they end up getting acquired. That was, you know, there was that guy that put like 500 mil in that was supposed to or something. I said at the time that it was probably going to take a little bit for that to even take place, but let's say that doesn't go through or there's not much that happens. It's like, it feels like the spiraling door of these collections that have something that's cooking potentially in terms of, you know, attention, what they could do. And then does it end up happening? I don't know. That's a pretty wasted conversation with the bank teller, to be honest. They are just working. That's fair, but I think it's more like the moral of the story is like people are starting to kind of realize, you know, okay, is it actually your money type deal? Because if you said the wrong thing, you wouldn't get it. Where's your face? You hiding it? Yeah, because I'm playing some videos and stuff, and I feel like I'm going in between. I don't know if I want to do the video more. I don't know if I want to do it less. I feel like I've had some people say, oh, yeah, we like your face. And then other ones saying, hey, like it's cool to be able to see the content a little bit more. Cause I'm looking at the screen here. Like for myself, I can see it. This is what it looks like for me. And I can see what you guys can see and make sure that it's the proper distance. My raw thoughts on Blast. The Blast launch was bad. It felt rushed. I think most people would kind of agree with that. Many people are disappointed and have withdrew their ETH because of this. However, the Blast team is just too good. Blast is not going anywhere. I still think it could be the number one ETH L2, and now that people are fading it, it's an even bigger opportunity. And all the people fading Blast right now are going to be bull posting about it in a few months. The same exact thing happened with Blur. We've seen the story a million times, fade then FOMO. Now my question is, we had Polygon kind of take that like main realm, you know? Bill Green, your face is hard to look at, to be honest. My man. It's incredible. And I feel like it's being actually implemented, right? Like Nifty Island uses Polygon, Zedrun uses Polygon. We have Sandbox using Polygon, or Nifty Island. Sorry, maybe I said Sandbox twice there. I meant Nifty Island. And so now we have Blast, now we have Arbitrum, and a whole bunch of other ones that I'm forgetting. So I don't necessarily disagree with the notion here that, you know, you could fade Blast and be disappointed that you didn't get into it. But like, what does the future of these ETH L2s look like? Are all of them going to be massively successful ecosystems on their own? Is everything going to end up funneling within Blast, Polygon? We know that the future is going to be multi-chain. And so I think all that matters is that you're here in the space paying attention, baby. All right, the Pudgy Penguins Gold Feathers Collectible releases today, March 8th at 8:45 p.m. EST. So this is a collectible. Let's see. There you go. So if you want to have something up on your shelves in your house that's a Pudgy Penguin Gold Feather collectible, that's happening tonight. All right, ready for some underrated gaming plays. Let's put on the thinking cap, go over this, and see what Carl is cooking. So for Overworld, Project Facts, it's got the Creeps ecosystem, IP, gaming, TV, fashion, and more. I would, just for the sake of argument, say almost every NFT collection has that for the game. Not much known at this point. That's tough. Partnered with Immutable and Revolving Games. And then here's the alpha where they have a controller and screenshot. Looks kind of interesting. Okay. Next up, Killabear's Project Facts. It's got IP, gaming, and fashion and more. Okay. Same thing again as the one above. Umbrella Games equal Killabear's team. The game is bringing best Umbrella games to Solana's Saga. So I guess the mobile phone. Umbrella Games portfolio has more than 40 million installs in mobile. That's kind of interesting and neat. I really think the Solana mobile thing is going to be interesting because we have like 100,000 plus buys of that phone. And so is that like kind of a new wave that people want to try to acquire the audience of? Because for myself, I got one, right? Like I ordered it, supposed to ship in like 2025 or something. I have a phone right now. I doubt that I'm going to use the Solana mobile beyond playing the games and maybe recording videos and stuff on that. So that would be maybe my main purpose for having the Solana mobile. So, okay, that's interesting. B-Ball verse. Project Facts. NBA Street meets Web3, plus creating a basketball platform for fans to connect. It's a game. It's arcade-style multiplayer basketball game. It's web-based and collabs with real basketball players. Kind of cool that they show some of the actual inside stuff, and then they show actual gameplay. That's what it looks like. Nice. Don't get that too often. Esports and crypto are made for one another. People underestimate the incentive of giving a kid $500 plus a month to play in a video game. You thought kids were getting more proficient with tech and games now? We are about to supercharge that proficiency. So, when I think of when I was younger, and I played RuneScape, and, you know, you talk with your parents about things like, have you beat the game yet? Are you good at it? For anybody that plays RuneScape, not really beat it. It's more of like kind of a game you play with friends, you know, all that stuff. And then it's like, yeah, Dad. But for like Overwatch and stuff, when I was getting into that, I was like, hey, like I really like this. We joined a tournament team. I wasn't very good at it, like absolute average, right? Like high gold, low plat kind of rankings, if you're familiar with that ranking system for it. And there was absolutely no money to be made, but all the stuff and time that I put into all of that, like it never equated to anything. But now you can kind of go to your parents and be like, hey, I play in all these games, but I'm actually making some kind of money about it. And that seems what most people say. They're like, oh, as long as you're benefiting or making money off something, you're good. This is crazy, and maybe why you should be paying attention to music, NFTs, Web3 integration of music, etc. So Snoop Dogg reveals how much he was paid for getting 1 billion streams on Spotify. Within this, he says right here, he had 1 billion streams. My publisher hit me. I said, break that down. How much money is that? Wasn't even $45,000 for 1 billion streams on Spotify. If you're not telling me these musicians and stuff are going to find a better way to monetize, you're crazy. Here's a Colony update.
Welcome to another Colony update. In this new demo, we are exploring the surrounding areas of the colony, in which agents can explore the world for raw materials to collect, consume, trade, or craft into new items. Colonists will be faced with unexpected situations, like Haddad here, who is trying to fix his ship. Also, in this demo, we are featuring for the first time the Earthen faction, as we continue the creation of assets and characters for all 5 parallels that will populate this world. Players might decide to engage in different social and political activities within the colony. This will give them power and authority to have a much bigger impact in the community. We are leveraging Unreal Engine 5 powerful procedural tools to ensure each colony and each game confront our AI agents with new challenges to resolve in an ever-changing environment. We can see other agents around us mining, looking for food, or performing different activities autonomously. Thank you for following Colony as we continue its development. We cannot wait to explore with you the secrets that lie behind the walls.
All right, DJ Toasty, what's going on, my man? How in the halibut are you? So, listen, that looks kind of spicy. So, I want to now present this perspective for you. We've had this run on ordinals. We've had the random resurgence of NFTs over the last little bit. Obviously, the past, week and a half, it's been kind of down. But I would argue people were feeling more free and interested in things. And I kept preaching, being like, why is everybody fine with just going out and buying these static NFTs and the new things? And there's all this work that's being done over the past little bit, and people seem to just be caring about what's going up in value. Utility NFTs and things that you actually want to have, and these AI, these integrations, and something that's cool, that's got to have a wave, doesn't it? And watching that made me just, it's happening. It's happening. A passionate rant on the situation at Artifact and the state of NFTs from the one and only Mr. Massive. So what's going on with Artifact? We've had people that have complained about what's going on there, saying that it's just extractive. We have the rumors that were formed or realized that were untrue about Nike laying off the entire division of Artifact. But what's the thought?
So let's just get real for a second, because I have known this team and this project since the very earliest of early days, and it is genuinely sad to see this level of sentiment. They stand accused of arrogance, of entitlement, of not delivering, and of extractive practices trying to squeeze every last penny out of their supporters. The truth is, Artifact used to be incredible at rewarding their supporters. Early collectors of the very first drops got physicals at no cost. They also got favorable entry prices for clones. Then let's not forget, every single clone got a space pod. They got a monolith box. They got crypto kicks. They got vials. They also got eggs, and all of those were worth something. Now, you may not jam with their art style, but they do put the work in. They delivered 3D files for everything, and as with everything, It always depends when you started. When did you buy? When did you buy in? Artifact's biggest crime appears to be not listening to their community, of appearing to act in their own best interests above the community. Do It Big Chicago is pissed about Zaptio lamenting the loss of royalties, but this is where the rubber hits the road. The biggest of big players in this space are actively pushing to shepherd users, you, me, everybody, traders, towards Magic Eden and the new royalty-enforcing marketplace on Ethereum. And you'll have to excuse me if I get pissed off here, because the armchair keyboard warriors out there cause so much damage, lobbing grenades willy-nilly, but have zero clue what it's like to build anything in this space. When Blur initiated the royalty wars, they single-handedly killed NFTs as we know them. Because the dirty secret is that without royalties, 99% of projects cannot survive. Cannot survive. NFT holders, well, you demand more NFTs, more stuff in perpetuity for the rest of time. It doesn't stop, but you don't want to pay for it. And while there were royalties, that was fine because the interest and the excitement, they directly contributed to the economics of the project. But Blur killed that. Now, it wasn't just Blur, it's unfair to put it all on them, but they precipitated the death. And it was inevitable. But while that fragile relationship existed, the incentives were at least vaguely balanced, and projects could continue to deliver as long as there was interest. The short-sighted fucks at Blur destroyed that. I call them short-sighted because, let me run it through with you. If there is no incentive to build anything, projects will die. And if projects die, there's no incentive to speculate and trade on them, so Blur also dies, which is, with all due respect, stupid. So Do It Big Chicago, let me ask you this. Have you made any calls to employees this year or last that you have to lay off to let them know that the model that you built on is no longer economically viable? Have you gone hat in hand to investors to take rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection in the face of AI and everything it can do? Have you sat and taken shit from your community over and over and over? Because unless you have done this, with all due respect, you don't know anything. And that is not to say that artifacts haven't made mistakes, although they haven't exhibited arrogance. And that is also not to defend the way they have done things. But the truth is, if you kill royalties, you leave projects with no option but to have to sell you stuff. There's an economic reality here. They have employees. They must deliver stuff. That stuff is not free, but you want it to be free. Everyone loves Pudgies because, you know, vibes. But their single greatest innovation, the thing that has sent them to the moon, has been to sell more stuff. And you just love it because they're not selling it to you. They're selling it to Web 2 normies. But it's still selling stuff because without royalties, you only have two options as a project. The first is to sell more stuff and hope you can get away with it. And the other is to launch a token like ApeCoin. And both are fraught with issues. Now look, new revenue models will be found, but it's going to take time. But you have to understand the fundamental unit economics of running an actual business. Web3 gaming is catching all the attention, and it's undeniably great to be able to tuck into genuine utility. But underpinning most of it is a reheated dog's breakfast of DeFi's greatest hits. And we all know where that ended up. Rant over. Because if nothing else, Artifact's greatest gift to this community has been the amazing tribe of creators that have sprung up to service it, to support it, and to get creating.
Yeah, what do you think of that? Listen, these rants that Baseless AF is doing have been phenomenal as of late. Absolutely phenomenal. So we keep seeing different partnerships and whatnot happening within Web3. It's usually to sell an NFT, but Overwatch here partnering with Porsche. Kind of thought it was interesting just to see the other side of the coin. Get blocked. Please reevaluate the amount of permissions for social connection. This is way too much. Okay, so the Block Games wants to see your tweets from your timeline. See your Twitter profile information and account settings. See accounts you follow, mute, and block. Follow and unfollow accounts for you. Update your profile and account settings. Post and delete tweets for you. And engage with tweets posted by others, like, unlike, and reply, tweet, retweet, etc. Create, manage, and delete lists and collections for you. Mute, block, and report accounts for you. And send direct messages for you. And read, manage, and delete your direct messages. What the hell is this? That is unbelievable. Block Games, never heard of it, but it's a cross-chain, cross-game, decentralized player network powered by universal player profiles, and it has 461,000 followers. What in the halibut? My dad is 77 years old and gives me financial advice, says Famous F. He asked me, so how are your coins today? Which I answered, meh, my coins aren't going up, but the big main one is going up a lot. My dad answered with, yeah, it's fine. First, the big main one goes up, and then yours. Just hold it. Bro, my dad has never went to school, can't read or write. He gives better advice than most fools on this app. Yo, I always think it's interesting when you talk with people that aren't necessarily within the crypto space and seeing the perspective on it. I don't know if this is a wash trade. I don't know what this is. But Kagi Jin saying the Star Atlas Polis token sold a $5 million spaceship, the highest asset sold in the history of gaming. Some of you were betting against Michael Wagner, the CEO of Star Atlas, during the bear, and you lost. This seems insane, like actually insane, because I didn't think that like a full version of the game was out in any kind of capacity. So this is somebody that's like, I'm punting on this because I think that this is going to be something massive. $5 million. When token, the G3 token is coming for games.gg. Home of Web3 gaming, discovered 350 plus game reviews, guides, quests, and news, including the Games Award, powered by G3, coming soon. We are tokenizing literally everything. It's kind of exciting, to be honest. All right, final thing we're ending with, the watch. What's this? Step in the first competitive action real-time strategy game. It's on Epic Games. 39,000 followers. They've been out for a while. Winter is coming. Register for the alpha back in 2023. I'm not sure if this is live yet, but if it is and it's got like a free version, probably going to end up playing it. But we're seeing more and more things happening, guys. Crypto's flying. We have the Futureverse showing stuff of the Third Kingdom. We have all these games launching tokens, trailers, and everything. I said yesterday, were people waiting for the market to get green and look good? Yes. The answer is yes. That's what they were doing. Divine, appreciate it coming through. Toasty, Long the Revolution, Bill Green, the one and only Snazzy. What an absolute legend. And Yoth, I didn't realize that you said so rare earlier. You said so rare, and I didn't put the two together, so now I get it. Have I ever talked about pixels? Roar, what's going on? I've talked about Ronin a little bit. I need to get into pixels because I did a little bit of Axie Infinity way back in the day, but it's crazy to see the amount of growth that they have. I've been seeing Jiho's tweets pretty much every day saying how they're just getting more and more gamers, users, and all that kind of stuff. So really good to see the ecosystem starting to thrive and the gaming chain wars really start to commence. But that's going to be it for this edition of XFeed. Again, we do this every single day, Monday through Friday. If you're just tuning in for the first time, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're on YouTube, or give me a follow on Twitch. If you're wanting to support the channel at all, we do have the Twitch Prime subscriptions as per usual. And then if you're wanting to join on YouTube, $2.99 a month. The DAU is nuts. Truly, except I'm allergic to those. So I'm